Good morning. Hello, 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 good people. Hello, good people. I am Dr. Hollie Kelly, and this is Dr. Kelly's perspective for Monday, August 28th, the last day of August, and we turn over a new month. I wanted to take a few moments and give my perspective on the fact that sometimes we just need to look up and look outside of our own little window that we've created in life, our own little silo that we're working from in our lives. For those of us in the U.S. that are viewing this, we know that we have had a horrendous natural disaster on our hands that is ongoing with the hurricanes and those of our those who are living in the Texas area, the Gulf of Mexico area, Louisiana, and specifically in Texas so far. But prior to the hurricane coming, other things seem to have taken a precedent, race relations and politics and, school systems failing and the economy not being where we want it to be, and murder rates, and et cetera, et cetera. All of that stuff takes a high precedent in our day-to-day lives and what we conversate about. But after the hurricane has hit, and subsequently continuing on, we see that some things become insignificant and they take a lower precedent, because we recognize for however long a period of time it is that we are all in this thing together. We're all in the same boat. And so everything that is outside of us, everything that is surrounding us, it puts us together. It brings us together, even though this is a horrendous incident that we're dealing with. And so my encouragement, what I'm looking and seeing through all of this, specifically because FEMA and the local, state, and national governments are asking for neighbors outside of our typical venue that we look to for help. They're asking for neighbors. Even if you have a boat, if you got a canoe, if you got anything that floats, we need you to come on board, get out there and see who needs help. And when I heard that first call to action for the neighbors, for anyone with boats to come out to help if you could, it just really encouraged my heart to recognize that, listen, when the chips are down and we really start recognizing that we are all in this together, we are all in the same boat, people will step up. People will step to the plate, drop the things that really do not matter, and we don't recognize they don't matter until we're all in an emergent situation, and come out. They will help. They will do, good morning, Rhonda. They will do whatever it needs to be done to help each other, regardless of racial or ethnic background, regardless of political affiliation, regardless of socioeconomic status differences. I could have been arguing with you just 3 days prior. Okay, but now we need each other. And so I would just encourage us to recognize that we need each other outside of an emergency. To recognize that there are going to be times when I have the resources, the experiences, the skill sets, the connections, the finances to help you. And there are going to be other times when I need what you have. So I don't know. I just, again, we can live in a little bubble, and all we see is what we surround ourselves with, and what we're listening to, and what we're watching, and what we're feeding ourselves. And my hope is that it doesn't always take an emergency. It doesn't always take a disaster. It doesn't always take a funeral to bring us together. Funerals, I don't think were necessarily designed for family reunions. We need to be doing some of that stuff outside of the emergency. So today, even for those of us outside of the flood zone and outside of the disaster area and don't have direct connections to someone in that area, I'm challenging you to look up and see that there are other opportunities out there. There are other channels to assist you. You are not out here on your own, doing it on your own. And if it feels like that, well, you don't know, you don't understand, because if it feels like that, that's when you really have to push. That's when you really have to look up and look outside and look around and go beyond, because you are not out here on your own. You're not out here on your own. Even if it feels like that, Margaret, we're a village at all. Absolutely, we are a village. We're a village, and we can't do this without our villagers. We simply can't. And I hope that it doesn't take an emergency for us to recognize we are all in the same boat. Help comes from outside of the norm. You know, sometimes we look to the federal government to help us only. Is FEMA on site, or what are they doing? And are they coming? Your neighbor, okay, your neighbor, your school teacher, your church member, your co-worker, they have exactly what you need. We are all in each other's lives. We are intertwined in each other's lives for a very specific reason, for a very specific time. Okay, so look up and look outside, and especially if you are feeling alone, if you're feeling lonesome, if you are feeling like the weight of the world is on your shoulders because everyone is expecting you to do and you to have and you to know and you to rescue, that's a very heavy load to carry. Our shoulders were not designed to carry that much and bear that much weight alone. Look up, look outside of what has been your norm for help. It is there. When we are expecting people to help us, they will manifest, they will come, they will show up, they will arrive on time. When you are expecting, and the same is true. If you don't expect help, if you don't think anyone's going to be there, if you don't believe that anyone cares and is out there looking to help you, they're not going to show up. You're not even expecting them. You're not waiting on them. Okay? Look up. Look up, and that is what I have for you today. Look up. Look outside of yourself. Until next time, take real good care of yourselves.